All right, we had Mo from SAP Ariba walk by, and I thought let's pull him in for a quick podcast. Mo, thanks for jumping in with us real quick.
Oh, good, man. Always great to talk to you, Kevin.
So for everyone else, it's been all customers so far. We've done one icebreaker. Okay. But since we're partners, we're going to do 3 rapid fire icebreakers. So I'm going to do a slow spin. We'll see what this first one is. Rapid fire, 10-second answers. Guilty pleasure movie. We'll do it again. I've already done mine.
Oh, guilty pleasure movie. Oh, crap. I'm going to say Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. That's a good
Yeah.
I'll give a new one. Guilty pleasure movie. I don't think it's a guilty pleasure, but my wife's favorite movie is Pretty Woman, and I watched it a lot.
Same here. I love it.
Notting Hill,
Yeah.
like that's on TV a lot at our house. All right, let's get into it. TPW, so many different things we can talk about. What is the topic that's new for this year that has stuck out the most to you that we should be jamming on right now?
Oh, wow. I'm kind of feeling it's going the other way, and that is I'm hearing too much about agentic AI. I read genuinely. I'm like, oh my God. I'm done with this thing already. So I think, intake and orchestration has always been the thing. Look, we just announced ours, right? We're going to get to GA next month. And so it's kind of intake orchestration, you have agentic. And I'm actually more about the people and how it's impacting procurement themselves. So I've been having a lot of conversations with CEOs around that side. How are you dealing with it? So I think it's really cool that we've got this tech. I'm seeing a maturity thing about adopting this. So
is it maturity in terms of, because we had it last session, we were talking to Ish from Diageo, and it was having like different systems work together and having that be the maturity side, where it's like you're trying to have 2 different AI solutions work with each other, or like one AI, one non-AI. You're saying more on the people side now. So getting people to use it, or getting people just to like change up the way they're thinking about engaging with tech.
The latter.
Okay.
The latter is kind of, what is this going to mean? How can we use it? What are the opportunities? And you've got such different levels of maturity of that. There's some people who are like really embracing it, taking it on, finding the use cases, understanding what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. And then the other side is, hey, I don't know, where do I start and what does this mean? And but this all comes down to there is an obvious need. The automation story, the ability to do like double my output, triple my output, get my teams doing it.
Cares about that though, you think? Because I'll give you an example. If you're a CPO here, of course. If you're a head of digital here, of course. If you are a stakeholder at XYZ company, stakeholder could be a tactical buyer, a category manager, an end user. Do you care?
I think they do. I think there's both I see it as an opportunity, but I also see it as fear. And we're seeing both of that.
Fear of the technology or fear?
Yeah. For sure, right? I mean, this thing, in 3 years' time, this is going to be a really, really different landscape. We were talking about agents and we're sitting here talking about procurement. I think the agents are going to be talking cross-process. I think there's procurement in supply chain, there's procurement in HR, there's procurement in customer experience, there's procurement in supply collaboration. There's so many different aspects that I think it's gonna pivot out of just being procurement. And I think
in that world, could there be a scenario where there's no procurement organization? Because if we're saying everything's interconnected and we're saying that you have agents working across all departments, if procurement is here to support the business, then could you have an agentic network or architecture that supports the business where you don't need procurement?
Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah.
I know controversial thought. And get it. Everyone here is procurement. So.
No. I think that but I was talking about 3 years, 5 years. I think there's going to be a lot of that. But then equally, it's procurement looking at itself and going, how do I become that value creator? Because there are certain areas that you can automate the crap out of. Nearly said the other way.
This is not an official podcast.
Yeah, it's fine. And I think that's a good thing. But I think there is value creation beyond that. That I think it'll allow procurement to get really laser focused, and I think that's cool. I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah. So more so, procurement still, but procurement going very strategic into different parts of the business, different topics to say, okay, like how do we now address this topic or optimize this topic?
Yeah.
As opposed to doing what procurement is doing today.
But we're seeing that already, right? Right, the more mature organizations are looking at it and going, okay, low hanging fruit. Let's pick these three, and then we're going to optimize these three. And if that works, then it'll probably give me a better business case to go and get some more money to do some more stuff. I mean, or the other side, which isn't, it's the bit the fear side, which is, is that a reduction or a streamlining of procurement to turn value creation into other areas? That's an unfortunate thing that I think is going to happen either way. And that's the fear thing, but I don't think we're there yet. And I think we've got to get to a point where, to your earlier point, is really understand the optimization pieces and where we optimize and why and how and what the strategic focus therefore is, because I'm not having to do that anymore. And I think that's clear, right? Because you shouldn't have to do that stuff to be there.
So like I agree. How fast can it go in terms of like even with like everything your team's doing, Joel? In terms of you're throwing like even Fairmarkit, we talk to customers and we have all these different build areas, all these different ideas. And if you show them the current state and then we're looking to go in 1 year, to some of them it feels like too much.
Yeah.
There's like too big of a bridge. And we say, no, it compounds, it gets better. Every month you just iterate. But it does create, I think people are like, how the hell do we get there?
Yeah. And that's what I mean. But I think different companies are approaching it differently. And I think it really depends on, look, there's a lot of procurement organizations that are not even mature enough with their baseline processes. I mean, you can look at that from a regional standpoint, right? We work in the Middle East a lot together.
Of course.
Right?
It's a cool region.
Right, but they want to automate everything.
Yep.
But they haven't built their baseline. So you've got to find the right balance. So I think it's gonna across the globe, I think there's going to be this real appetite, because there is, of adopting the technology, looking at agents, how can that help me? Because some people have got some huge, massive projects that they're running on, and they're just focused on that. That's what they need to deliver. They're not looking at the baseline procurement. I just need to get that done. So if that's the case, we need to ensure that we build a maturity model, and that's where I think strategic procurement really, that knowledge, that experience of building the old adage of people, process, tech, right?
Yeah.
But you need to have your arms wrapped around all of that. So digital transformation, in effect, what I'm saying is it means different things. I think going forward, it's going to mean a completely different thing. So I think it's going to move really fast in one respect, but I think you're going to, the business and how it's doing it and what it's doing, if you're able to spend more time because of that automation on doing that, I think that's going to make us super valuable as a function.
How about because like a lot of people from an SAP perspective are going through some type of digital transition, and that could be to S4, that could be launching new functionality, that could be rolling on Joule, whatever it is. And just from our experience, sometimes it does create tunnel vision on that big spaceship of a project.
Yeah.
And it's understandably consuming a lot of their headspace. So like, what is your recommendation to people while they're going on that journey over a course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, to still be able to get the wins along the way and to still be like, it's partnership like ours. Like, it's been awesome. Like, how do you get people to open up and prioritize? Like,
and that's, it's a super valid point. And it's actually something that we struggle, people look at SAP and go, oh, well, these big projects and this, but there's so much in what you prioritize, and they tend to go and focus on the ERP and procurement's like operational procurement. Oh, we can just do it there. And what we all know is funny. I've worked for the competition, right? I've seen what they've been doing and what they say, right? And the ERP is not for procurement. Guess what? We feel the same.
Yeah.
Right? So you're doing this big ERP thing, and you've got the tunnel vision thing, and we're like, don't forget about procurement. And the value that we have working together is there's quick wins that you can put in terms of automation.
Yeah.
Because I know you feel the same. We talked about this. Operation procurement, we can automate the hell out. So let's automate the hell out.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's a good call. Do we not try to boil the ocean with like, yes, we want to give delighters across the board, but if there's certain spots that we know you can knock out of the park, just knock them out of the park
Right.
and just sprint at it.
Get that value early. Get that moving because it'll allow you to focus on areas that really matter. And that's not saying that operational procurement doesn't matter because it does. But there's the 80-20 rule, right? And you guys pick that 20-30% and do a really good job on it. So yeah, go at it.
Let's switch from work talk to personal talk. Talk about back to AI. What is the what's been the most valuable use case you've done with AI in your personal life? And then what's been the one that you're doing? You're like, am I actually doing this right now? Like one that you're looking back, and you're like that's pretty nuts that I'm putting this into XYZ.
Yeah, it's probably going to sound a bit weird actually, because up until about 4 months ago, I wasn't really using it. I'll be honest.
So 4 months ago?
Not really.
What does not really mean? And not to be
Like, well, a little touch here and there. Maybe I'll ask a question and whatever. But I was like, I'm just too busy. And then one day I just decided, hold on a minute. I'm being a bit stupid here. And a couple of different things happened. One was my daughter's book, which got released, right? So my daughter's 11 years old, just turned 12. She'd written a book. The teachers had said it was really good and I should really look at it, and I did. And as we started doing that, she had done character drawings of each one of the characters. And I was trying to encourage her to basically, without telling her that I was going to do this, and you just basically build the cover of what that book would look like, what the cover would look like. And she was being a bit hesitant, so I scanned it, and then I threw it into AI.
It's amazing. Yep.
And I was like, she woke up the next morning, and I was like, let's have a look at what I've sent you in the chat. And I was like, is that quite right? And she was like, no. And I was like, why don't you? And we, through that process, we ended up creating the back cover and the back cover and the front cover using AI. She really got to use it and leverage that, which I thought was pretty amazing. And that opened my eyes. And now I'm definitely using AI. Or like a huge amount.
You need that one moment.
Yeah.
That one delighter. And that's where the whole thing sorcerer is not meant to be magic sorcerer because it's like sourcing. But if you give someone that delightful moment, then they're like, this is real. We can come back to it. And it's good that you're instilling it in your daughter, because even like our 4-year-old, she woke up one morning, she goes, Dad, I had a dream. She was like, I was a jelly bean and I was dancing on a waffle with another jelly bean and it was on a rainbow, some crazy love story. And I just said, it was like 6 in the morning. I was like, wait, tell me that again. And I turned on the audio for GPT and I had her describe it. And then it made the visual right for her. And her eyes lit up like,
Right, exactly.
It was exactly how it looked, but like, it's that magic moment that I think you need to have.
100%. And I was having this conversation with another CPO actually on Thursday or Friday last week. And whilst we were talking, I just realized I actually am beginning to use various co-pilots almost as soundboards.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't want them to create the content for me. I want to be able to ideate. And sometimes when I'm sitting there and I've got these crazy thoughts, you know how you normally used to write them down and then come back at? No, I just go straight to either GPT or Perplexity, or there's various things to talk. And I just throw it, and I try and work out what each one of them think, and that just fosters more creativity. And I've loved that. So for in terms of output, the last 3 months, I've done more really cool output than I have probably in the last 2 months.
That's awesome.
So there you go.
Yeah, I am the brainstorming with AI that led to our session we just did, which was Back to the Future theme. Shout out to Jules and Vanya. And I was Doc Brown. I had a big wig on. It was a pretty silly presentation, but it was actually the idea of GPT. Say, how can we put a fun spin on telling the human agentic story?
Right.
Which is cool. Thanks again, Mo. I just pulled you off to jump in, but thanks, man.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Cheers.